Hi guys, it's me back with another video, and today I'm doing my Premier League predictions. In 20th place I'm going with Sunderland. Not been in the Premier League for a long time, since 2017, which can sometimes be a bad thing. There's two main ways to recruit as a newly promoted team to the Premier League in the modern era. You can either splash cash at it and hope something sticks, which is a Nottingham Forest tactic, or recruit smartly and utilise a lot of the players that you came up with. Sunderland have gone for the splash cash route, mainly looking towards the future, with the likes of Simon Adingra and Mark Guéhi signing. And also their most expensive purchase of 30 million, Habib Diarra, the 21-year-old Senegalese midfielder. The one experienced player that they have signed is Granit Xhaka for 17.3 million from Bayer Leverkusen. He's 32 now and was great at Bayer Leverkusen, completely revolutionised himself, but I think the Premier League is it's a closed group of 17, where the previous two seasons, the three promoted teams have gone straight back down. I think, no spoilers, it's going to be similar this season. It's going to be really tough. In 19th, I'm going with Burnley. They haven't so much as splash the cash. It's probably totaling around 35-40 million, roughly. And they've gone with a mix of foreign talent like Marcus Edwards from Sporting, Max Weiss from Karlsruhe, Jacob Brun-Larsen from Stuttgart, but also gone for some established Premier League talent. Kyle Walker, Axel Tuanzebe, Jadon Anthony, Broja and Dubravka. And Dubravka, I assume, is going to be their number one goalkeeper, as James Trafford has gone out the door to Man City. I think he's a little bit past his best, to be perfectly honest, Dubravka. He's about 35, 36 now. Yeah, I think they're going to concede a lot of goals. I think they're going to put up a little fight, but ultimately go down. In 18th, I've gone with Brentford. So they've signed Kelleher for 18 million from Liverpool, let Mark Flecken go for 11 million. I'd say that's pretty much like for like. Anthony Milambo from Feyenoord for 18.8 million. Don't know much about him. Kayode from Fiorentina is a great fullback. And Jordan Henderson on a free, I think he's past it, to be honest. They've let Mbeumo go, which is a massive loss, as he is one of their main sources of goals, along with Johan Wissa, who's not left yet, but has been very close to a move to Newcastle for about a month, and I think is quite close. So if they lose both Mbeumo and Wissa, firepower-wise, they could be really struggling. In the league last season, Bryan Mbeumo got 20 goals and 7 assists. Johan Wissa got 19 goals, 4 assists, which they put up incredible numbers. They've still got Kevin Schade. They'll still have a solid defence. Brentford scored 66 goals last season, and without their creativity, I think it could be 10, 15 less, even with players filling their spots. Igor Thiago is it's an interesting one to see what he can do, because they signed him last summer, did his ACL, not played since. He's got big boots to fill. I just think it's all going wrong at Brentford, to be perfectly honest, and they're going 18th. Also, Brentford have got Keith Andrews as their new manager. He's a complete unknown. He's never managed professionally. He was a set-piece coach. Surely that can't work. In 17th, I've gone with Leeds, the last of the 3 newly promoted teams. I am predicting that Leeds are going to be the only one to stay up and break this trend of all 3 newly promoted teams going back down straight away. They signed Lucas Nemcha from Wolfsburg on a free. He was a rotational player at Wolfsburg and not a good one at that. They signed Sean Longstaff, who has good depth to the midfield. Anton Stack, Bornva, a lot of Premier League unknowns, particularly, apart from Longstaff. Not too convinced. In 16th, I've got Wolves. Manager Vitor Pereira is a massive reason why Wolves stayed up last season, but also because the Leicester, Ipswich and Southampton, the newly promoted teams, were so crap. Now, there's a lot of outgoings, well, notable outgoings. I'd say Gonzalo Guedes, Real Sociedad to 5.2 million. Pablo Sarabia was released. Nelson Semedo was released. Aït-Nouri, 36.3 million. He's been one of their best fullbacks in years, probably since Matt Doherty in his pomp, like 2018, 2019. And also Mateus Cunha, he was their bagsman last season, netting 15 Premier League goals. In 15th, I've got West Ham. Mohamed Kudus has left for 55 million, which is a loss despite him having a poor season last time out, only getting 5 goals and 4 assists in all competitions. Their transfer business is fine. Mads Hermansen from Leicester for 18 million. I think he's an okay keeper. They've got Kyle Walker-Peters and Callum Wilson on frees. It's okay. And Jean-Claire Todibo for 35 million. Obviously, he was on loan last season. I assume it was an option to buy. I think that's a crap deal. 35 million. I know he's young, but last season, he wasn't great. In 14th, we do have Fulham. There's not a lot to talk about, really. They've signed Benjamin Lecomte from Montpellier, 34 years old. I don't think he's going to start. Leno is pretty nailed on. And then they've let Vinicius and Willian go. Willian was decent at Fulham. Vinicius was a bit of a car wreck, to be honest. And there's literally nothing else to talk about. In 13th, I've gone with Everton. Last season was more of the same, really, that we've expected the past 3-4 years, where they dragged themselves out of relegation and didn't really look in that much danger. So obviously David Moyes is a good appointment and dragged them out of the relegation battle. But I think they've got a new stadium. I think this is going to be a good vibes, consolidating season. I like their transfer business. We've got Keane and Dewsbury Hall in for 29 million. And they're also getting Jack Grealish on loan, who now he needs somewhere different. He needs somewhere to flourish, more creativity. Because at Aston Villa, he was such a creative player. But Man City just seems to sap the creativity out of players and just make them into system players. And I think that's exactly what Jack Grealish, what happened to him. And play at cam, he could play on the wing. I think it's a very exciting signing. Crystal Palace in 13th. Not a lot to talk about in terms of on the pitch signings. Walter Benitez from PSV is a decent goalkeeper, and Sosa is a decent little player coming in from 3 million from Ajax. The main talking point is the controversy regarding their multi-club ownership, which has bumped them down from Europa League to Conference League. I think they're going to focus on the Conference League this season, but obviously Eze has been linked with a move to Arsenal. If they lose him, that's a big loss. Bournemouth are going in 11th. I think they've been defensively shot in this transfer window. Zabani gone, Kirke's gone, Hoysden gone. Massive, massive defensive losses. In 10th, a slight fall off from last season, I'm going with Nottingham Forest. The big talking point is the loss of Alanga to Newcastle for 55 million, which they have reinvested some of that money in Dan Ndoye and Igor Jesus. Alanga as a big attacking threat got 6 goals and 11 assists in the league last season. Forest are in the Europa League, and this season they will need to rely on Chris Wood for goals again. He managed to get 20 goals in the league last season, but Chris Wood is 33 and is a player who's never really been a 20-goal-a-season striker in the Premier League. We'll have to see if he can keep that up. Man United have splashed the cash on their attacking force with Brian Mbeumo for 71 million, Cunha for 62.5 million and Benjamin Sesko for 73.7 million as their brand new attack. Also keeping Bruno Fernandes, who was linked to a move to Saudi Arabia. I think defensively they're still lacking, but this attacking threat that they have now obtained is going to help them perform much better than they did last season. Obviously, no European football is an advantage over other clubs. In 8th, I've gone with Brighton. It's a bit of a quiet transfer window. Tom Watson from Sunderland for 10 million. He scored the winning goal for Sunderland to send them to the Premier League in the playoff final. Boss Gangly on a Fraser decent deal. De Kuyper from Club Bruges, but I think it's rather uneventful. In 7th, I've gone with Tottenham. Obviously, it's been a summer of change, winning the Europa League, getting rid of Andrew Postecoglou, Thomas Frank in, and they spent some decent money. Kevin Danso and Matthias Tell, who they had on loan last season, they've got them permanently now. Mohamed Kudus for 55 million. Also, they got João Palhinha on loan from Bayern Munich. He was great at Fulham, didn't really adapt well at Bayern Munich / play much, and I think it's been a really good window by Tottenham. Højbjerg's gone, 17 million, it's a nice bit of money they've recouped there. Son is on the verge of leaving, which I don't think that's big a loss. He's a little bit past his prime now. In 6th, I've gone with Newcastle, but they've had a horror of a transfer window. Like, all of their number one targets have just gone to other clubs. Cunha, Sesko, Mbeumo, Delap, just to name a few. They have signed Anthony Elanga, which is a good deal for 55 million. He's their main signing. Ramsdale's decent on loan. They wanted Ekitike. He's gone to Liverpool. And then Isaac wants to leave and go to Liverpool. I think we're nearing the stage where the Isaac to Liverpool move is unlikely, and he could stay at Newcastle, but there's still a long time till that 1st of September, end of the transfer window. I think Champions League football is going to be tough on them. So I think 6th is still respectable for Newcastle, definitely. I think it's going to be a kind of transitionary season, and then next season I think they might win something again. Maybe an FA Cup or a League Cup. Aston Villa in 5th. It's been quite quiet. Got Gesand from Nice to 28 million. And I think the big talking point is if Ollie Watkins is going to leave. But Man United were sniffing about. So were Arsenal, I believe, before they finally got Gyökeres. In fourth, I've gone with Chelsea. They've been busy. Of course they've been busy. Developing the attack with the likes of Bino Gittins for 51.5 million, Pedro for 60 million, Delap for 30 million. They also got Jarrell Hatto from Ajax for 38.5 million, as well as some younger talent. Noni Madueke and João Felix have left for bit large sums. I think Chelsea are going to do really well. A lot of people think they're going to challenge for the title, which I think is a bit crazy at this point. In third, I've gone with Arsenal, who have added to all phases of the pitch. Mosquera for Valencia for 13 million. I think he's going to be a good rotational defender. Zubamendi and Norgard for the midfield. And Madueke and Gyökeres up front. They finally got the striker they've been clambering for years. But I think the top two still, even with spending 150, nearing 200 million, I think the top two are just that much better going into this season. In second, I'm going with Man City, who spent really big as well. Reinders 46 million, Aït-Nouri 36, Cherki 34, Trafford 31. Man City obviously have an amazing squad, but I think they are going to get pipped by my number one, Liverpool. They won the league and they've just gone on leaps and bounds in who they've signed. Wirtz 116 million, Ekitike 79, Kerkez 40, Frimpong 29.5. Completely reinventing that defence with Kerkez and Frimpong. I just think that is unbelievable business. And they might get Isaac as well. Their strike force, yes, Darwin Núñez has left, Luis Diaz, too, and the unfortunate death of Diego Jota. They will be lacking slightly in attacking threats, but I think the likes of Ekitike and Salah will do more than enough. So that is going to be the end of the video. I hope you did enjoy this video, and bye guys.